video we'll be learning about solution to the quadratic congruence is equivalent to solving linear congruence and a quadratic congruence of the form this. So here what I want to consider is I want to solve a quadratic congruence of this type. Let us take a general quadratic congruence. This is the general quadratic congruence 0 modulo p. And when I say that this is most general quadratic linear congruence, here A should not be congruent to 0 modulo p. If A is congruent to 0 modulo p, then this convert directly into the linear congruence, because if A is congruent to 0 modulo p, in that case A into x square is also congruent to 0 modulo p. This means this congruence reduces to, the first term reduces to congruent to 0 plus bx plus c is congruent to 0 modulo p, and hence the quadratic congruence reduces to the linear congruence, and this is what we do not want. What we have said, we want to find the solution of a quadratic congruence. So this means for quadratic congruence the coefficient of x square should not be congruent to 0 modulo p. So this is a condition that we must need to take. Now we want to solve this quadratic congruence, and the statement says this is equivalent to the problem of solving this quadratic problem is equivalent to solving a linear congruence. So I need to find, how do I find a linear congruence which is associated with this and a quadratic congruence of this particular type. X square is congruent to a modulo p. Now we also consider that this p is an odd prime. Let us consider in this case we want to prove this result for the p odd prime. So let's call this as equation number 1. We want to solve this one with the help of these two conditions. Now I want to reduce this one into these two type of the form. To do that, let me to start from a again. Ax square plus bx plus c is congruent to 0 modulo p. Multiply both side by 4a, so I can multiply by both side by 4a. So this means it is ax square plus bx plus c is congruent to 0 modulo p. And as we know, we have considered that a is not congruent to 0 modulo p. This means p does not divide a. If p does not divide a, this means GCD of a and p is equal to 1. If GCD of a and p is equal to 1, this means GCD of 4a comma p is also equal to 1. And if the GCD of 4a comma p is equal to 1, so this quantity is equivalent to, I can now write this 4a ax square plus bx plus c. This is same as 2ax plus b whole square minus the usual quantity that we write in the discriminant, b square minus 4. This is congruent to 0 modulo p. So we rewrite this quantity in this form, in the perfect square. And this is what we write this quantity as y. This is, let me call this quantity as d. This means we may write 2ax plus b whole square minus b square minus 4ac is congruent to 0 modulo p. So I may write this quantity as y square congruent to d modulo p, where what is y? Y we have defined, where y is 2ax plus b, and what is d? D is b square minus 4ac. So this is the form that we got as we required. We required this in the equation number 2. So this is actually the form that is given in equation number 2. It is not exactly the same quantities, but we can see here there is a variable y square, and here also there is a variable x square. On this side there is a constant quantity a, and here we got the quantity d. So, and this means we want to solve the equation number 2. Whenever we want to solve equation number 1, we want to solve the equation number 2. And what is the linear congruence attached with this? The linear congruence attached with this is this one, that is given by equation number 3. If x is congruent to x naught modulo p is a solution of quadratic congruence of equation 1. Quadratic congruence in equation number 1. And what is equation number 1? Let me to write here ax square plus bx plus c congruent to 0 modulo p. This is equation number 1. So we are claiming that if x equal to x naught is a solution of this, then automatically by our conversion y equal to 2 times ax naught plus b modulo p. Now because we have used equation number 3 is a solution, this is a solution of equation 2. So this will become, for this particular y, this will hold, and this means that this congress 2 is satisfied. And conversely, if we know that there is a solution for the equation number 2, if y is congruent to y naught modulo p, this is a solution of quadratic, this is solution of 2, then we can do the reverse way. What is the value for y? Y is 2ax. This is congruent to y naught minus b modulo p. This is a solution of 1. Because what is the value for y? Y was 2ax plus b. So you simply substitute y naught and you take b on the other side. So this becomes y naught minus b equal to 2ax. And hence we say that this, if y naught is the solution with respect to modulo p, so this automatically means 2ax is congruent to y naught minus b, and hence it reduces to solution of a linear equation. In this case, why I am saying this as linear? Because there is only one variable. You look at this quantity, this is x. The 2a quantity is a constant. Let me write this as capital A. This is also a constant quantity. Let me to write this as capital B modulo b, and hence it is a linear congruence. So this means solving the quadratic equation is equivalent to solving a particular type of the quadratic congruence that is given by equation number 2, and the linear congruence that we can now derive from here. So now note that, let me to club the result again. To solve ax square plus bx plus c congruent to 0 modulo p, I need to solve a quadratic polynomial of the form x square congruent to a modulo p. This is what I need to solve. And for this question, let us see, suppose that x naught is a solution. Suppose x naught is one solution. Then obviously the other solution is p minus x naught. Other is p minus x naught. And by the degree also, because the degree in this case, it's a quadratic congruence, and by Lagrange theorem we know there are at most 2 incongruent solution. So we also say that x naught is incongruent, this is incongruent to p minus x naught. Had these been congruent, so this means if they are congruent, so we are trying to solve 1 and 2, because the solution of 2 will lead to the solution of 1. So suppose if they are congruent, this means x naught is congruent to p minus x naught modulo p. In this case, we will see quickly that 2 times x naught is congruent to p is congruent to 0 modulo p. P was an odd prime, we have already seen this. If this is an odd prime, this means it is simply x naught is congruent to 0 mod p. And if x naught is congruent to 0 mod p, so this automatically satisfies 2. So this means from 2, if I take x naught is congruent to 0, 0 is congruent to a modulo p. We have already seen that the GCD of a and p is equal to 1. This means p does not divide a, so a is not congruent to 0 modulo p. But in this situation, we get that a is congruent to 0 modulo p. So this is a contradiction. So here we get a contradiction. And hence we must say that x naught is incongruent to p minus x naught. So we can find one solution for the equation number 2, and hence we can find the other solution. Now let us take an example to explain this concept. In this question, I want to solve the quadratic congruence this. This means I want to reduce this into some y square congruent to d modulo 13. 13 is a prime. What is the value for y? From the above substitution, y was 2ax plus b. And what is d? D is b square minus 4ac. If I take now from here the values of a and b, I get what is my y? Y is 2 times a, this is 5 into x plus b, which is minus 6. So this means this is 10x minus 6. And what is the value for d? D is 9. In this case, I want to solve the congruence y square is congruent to 9 modulo 13. Now to solve this, I want to solve 1, but this is equation number 2. So by hit and trial, we can see if you put y naught equal to 3, or if I take y naught equal to 3, this means from 2, 9 is congruent to 9 modulo 13, and it is satisfied. So if I got one solution, I can find the another y dash or let me to consider this as solution as y1 and y2. So y2 is p minus 3. What is the p prime here? That is 13 minus 3, that is 10. So this means 3 and 10 are incongruent solutions of 2. These are incongruent solutions of 2. If they are the solution of 2, we got the solution of 2. From here we can find now the solutions for 1. For finding the solution of 1, I need to now construct the equation 2ax is congruent to y minus b modulo p. This is what I want to solve. So this means when y is equal to 3, this congress reduces to 2ax, or I can simply directly substitute the value for a also. This means this is 10x is congruent to 9 modulo 13. And when y is equal to 10, I get the congress as 10x is congruent to 16 modulo 13. We simply substitute these value. A is 5, y in place of y I have substituted 3, b I already know, and so we get this linear congruence. For these linear congruence, I can again find out that x is equal to 10 and 12. These are the two values that satisfy these congruence, and hence this is the solution for my original quadratic equation. This way we can solve the quadratic congruence by converting this into a special type of the quadratic congruence and into a linear congruence.